Right, let's start today's session. Right, let's start today's session. Before going to start today's session, in the last session, what we were discussed, I'll just show you quickly. Then after, we'll go through in this session. I'm just going to create a API, how to work with this Django project for creating API, how to, what are the steps are required, you will see now. Excuse me. This is the last session, what we were discussed here. So as I said that REST API is an architectural style. Yeah. I'll take it this mail ID later, okay? No problem. If you are my students, then I have already your mail ID, I think so. Okay, yes. Now in the last session, we were discuss about some important method, that is HTTP methods we were discuss. And let's quickly finish in the last session what I discussed. REST API is an architectural style for application programming interface that uses HTTP request to access data and use the data again. So generally client will send request to the server, and that client request will go to first REST API, that is RESTful API also we can call it as. So when web services uses a REST architecture, they are called as RESTful APIs or REST APIs we can say. Okay. So using get, post, put, delete method only we will send request here. Get means to retrieve the data, post means to insert or what we can say is posting the data, and put means updating, and delete means to delete the data. And this request will send to server. Who will send to server? RESTful API. And response will queue in the format of JSON or XML only. Server will queue response to the client in the format of JSON and XML. So REST API is a set of web address that responds with clear information. That information can be passed in the form of JSON or XML. So API returns. What it returns? RESTful APIs return JSON or XML, which is common format. So we can see all the information enclosed within the curly brackets or square brackets. And what is JSON here? Yes. So I'm going to create one simple API. Before that, you have to understand that what is JSON here. JSON is an open standard file format and data interchange format that uses human readable text to store and transmit data objects consisting of attribute value pairs. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Is a standard text-based format for representing structured data based on JavaScript object syntax. So it is commonly used for transmitting data in web applications. For example, sending some data from the server to client, and so it can be displayed on the web page only. Sending data from server to client so that it can be displayed on the web page only by using JSON or XML file. So XML is nothing but extensible markup language. It is used to describe the data. The XML standard is a flexible way to create information formats, electronically share structured data via public internet, as well as via some networks only. So these two things we have to know that by, because in our API things, I'm going to I'm going to give the data in response in the format of JSON. So today I'm going to show you just a quick application. Okay, how to create a simple application. I'm going to show you. To create simple API, you must and should aware of that. Okay, so Django, project creation, all those things. In previously, whatever we discussed, Django project creation. Okay, you have aware already that. I need not explain once again all this Django project details and all. So I strongly recommend to install that DJANGO REST framework also. Okay, yesterday I shown that clearly DJANGO REST framework I have installed clearly here. So how to install DJANGO REST framework? Already I have shown. Go to command prompt and pip space install space DJANGO REST framework, you have to type it. Okay, yes, that we have to use it. So before going to start creating an API using PyCharm editor, I'm going to use. Okay, first I have to create a project. But first of all, you must and should check whether you have Python software and Django software or not. So as I said that clearly, compulsory Python and Django, both softwares are required here in your computer. Okay, so I'm just checking that. Already we just checked in the last session Python version and Django version. So how to check the version? Python space hyphen hyphen version I'm taking. This is version DJANGO hyphen admin space hyphen hyphen version. So DJANGO is also available. And you have to install that what actually PIP space install space DJANGO REST framework we have to install. This is already I have installed in the last session PIP space install space DJANGO REST framework. So once we enter, so let me check that. So already requirement satisfied it is showing. You can see this requirement already satisfied because in the last session I have shown clearly how to install Django REST framework. If you want uninstall, same pip space uninstall space Django REST framework. That's it. But here first what I want to do to show a simple API creation purpose. So first I have to create a Django project. You people all knows that. Those who have attended my classes, Django classes as well as Python classes. So you know how to prepare Django project clearly. So project creation is in two different ways. Directly, you can go to PyCharm editor, that is professional or else community version. And there you can create a project by following step-by-step wizard manner. Or else you can go to command prompt and let's go to command prompt here. Just I want to show you how to create a project here. So I'm just creating what actually Django project I'm creating. Sorry, what project? Django project I'm creating. Now, first, let me go to desktop here. I'm going to store in my project into desktop. So moving it to desktop, CD space desktop. CD means change directory. Then immediately what I'm trying to create Django project. To create Django project, Django hyphen admin. Okay, hyphen admin start project, your project name. Yes. So any project name we can do this. So I'm going to work with the REST API, a simple application using Django REST framework. So what I'm trying to do, my project name is what actually, so DRF project I'm taking. My project name is DRF project, Django REST framework project, you can say. Just meaningful name, you can give any name. So I'm just giving Django REST framework project here. Now project created successfully. So look at here, you are going to see this in desktop DRF project is available. And I want to move to inside the project. How to move to inside the project? CD space DRF project. Yes, I'm going to move into DRF project. So my intention is under this project, I have to create an application. Okay, I have to create what? Application. You know how to create application, what command is required to create an application in Django project. So Python space manage.py start app and application name you have to use. Let's go for Python space manage.py start app. Your application name is DRF app I'm taking. This is my application. The Django REST framework application. Okay, then press enter. So right now you have successfully created application also. Okay, so this is what first I have to do that. So I just move to desktop and desktop location Django admin start project DRF project. I have included my project name here, and I create a project and I moved into my project CD space DRF project, and after that I have created application Python space manage.py start app and DRF app. So these steps you have to follow, or else apart from by following these commands, directly open PyCharm editor. There only you can create a project and application. So all my old students, you know, that those who attend my Django sessions, you know very well how to create over there in PyCharm editor. But just you have to know the basic commands. So that's what I'm going to follow this only. So let me close this command prompt completely. Let me check out my project created or not in my desktop. Yes. So what is the DRF project is there? Let's double click on it. And now you can see DRF project and DRF application also there. So this is what manage.py completely here file. And application is having so many files, administrator, panel purpose, and views and models. Models represent databases, okay, under your application, and project related URLs is there. Okay, web server gateway interface, asynchronous server gateway interface. So many things are there. So we have seen already these things in Django sessions. So let's open this project into my PyCharm editor. So let me go to PyCharm editor. I'm going to search and type PyCharm editor. I have PyCharm professional editor here. Let me open it. Even community editor also, no problem at all. Just I'm opening PyCharm professional editor here. So it is all loading first. So what it loads actually in the last session, what we discussed, that is going to be loaded here. Okay. So loading DJANGO project 830, but this is not our project. So last session, what we work on it, that's going to open. But let me open my project, which is already created, available on desktop. Okay. Yes. So it takes time. Okay. Just 1 or 2 minutes it will take to completely load the project. So after complete loading and scanning file indexes are all these things, interpretation, setting and all. So no worries at all. Now it is ready. It is not your project. It is my previous batch product, which I'm dealing right now. Currently, Django batch is going. That project it is, but I would like to open my project. So let's go to PyCharm editor file menu and go to open project. Open option is there. And where is your project? You have to go to that location. I have mentioned my project location in C drive and users and Lenovo and desktop. Now I can see in this desktop. So I have a project name called what project I have? DRF project I have. Okay, DRF project is available. So select that project and click on OK. Click on this window. Now that project which I created through command prompt by passing commands and application, everything, it's going to open here only here. Okay, yes. But here, whenever we open a new project, it will ask sometimes to set the interpreter. Okay, Python interpreter is required. No? Yes. So strictly remember, Python software is required, Django framework software is required. And after that, DRF software, that is Django REST framework software is required. You have to install it. Already I have installed in my command prompt. Or else, even if you have not installed through command prompt like Python space install space Django REST framework, and go to terminal window of your PyCharm editor. Here also you can type it. Okay, Python space uh, pip space install space Django REST framework. Here also you can install it. No issues at all. That is your wish. Let me first, what we need to do here, as I said in the last session, previous session, after installing DRF, that Django REST framework we have to include into your project settings.py. Even I just create application also. In Django, what we did, whenever we create application, that application view must and should install under settings.py or not. Yes. So I'm going to project settings.py. So let me check whether DRF app is installed or not under installed applications. Now you can see installed underscore apps. Before that, let me configure the interpreter properly. Let me click on configure Python interpreter and interpreter settings. And it takes just a few minutes. Let's okay, show all interpreters. I'm selecting a proper interpreter here. Yes, that's all. And I'm going to apply this interpretation part. Okay, done. So after that, we have to DRF app, we have to include here where under the installed underscore apps. In the last session documentation, I mentioned here. So what is this? DRF app, DRF app. Then along with that, we have to mention what Yes, along with that, we have to mention one more thing. So what is that? This is the main thing. Don't forget. REST underscore framework. This we have to include because we are creating a simple API using DRF, DJANGO REST framework. So this is also required. So using this only, we are going to create a simple API here. How to create simple API, I'm going to show you. REST underscore framework. These two things are required. Sorry, DRF app is your application name, and REST underscore framework is your REST framework application name. I'm giving REST underscore framework. Enter the installed apps of your project. So after that, simply settings.py, you can exit. No issues. You can close it. Now, next step, immediately what you have to go to models. Model is going to be represent what generally database. So where is your model class? Model.py. So here it is models.py under your application. Let's go to models, and I'm going to prepare a simple model here. So through this model, I want to represent in through that our API, I want to represent this model data into JSON format. That is what my intention here in this session. Let me create a model. Any model you can create. Class name is student. Okay, class name is what actually? Student. Student. Student is model name here. Then after that, what I'm taking? Models dot model. This code, in Django already we discussed many times. So SID I'm taking, or else SID, that means student ID. SID means what? Student ID. So models dot integer field I'm taking, integer field. So max length, that is optional. If you want, you can give, otherwise not required. S name, that is what? Student name. Models dot char field, then max length equals to 20. Next, S address I'm taking, S address, models dot char field, models dot char field of max length. Just observe here, models dot char field of max length equals to 20. I'm taking S address. Okay. S email, student email actually, that is models dot. So email field I'm taking here, email field. So max length is not required for this. If you want, you can give, otherwise you can ignore it. So these fields I'm taking here. SID, S name, S address, S email. Okay, these are the fields which I'm going to show in my database representation. This is the student model name. Model is represent database table name. So you know very well, okay, whenever you create a model, okay, compulsory you have to do what? In the terminal window, make migrations and migrations. That's for sure. Make migrations and migrations. Please. And whenever we create a models.py model file, model class, we have to do make migrations and migrations. But look at here, once I'm doing migrations, and let me check out how the model is going to be represented here. So what is the model representation? So before that, where you want to see this model? Do you want to see this model in admin panel or admin interface? Yes means you have to register this model into admin.py. No means you have already DB browser software. We have discussed it in Django classes. DB browser software is there. Either you can open this DB browser tool, and there also you can open your database. You can manage your data from here. DB browser tool also. DB browser tool for SQLite. Every Django project by default is having SQLite database that is going to be stored here. So I want to show this model name student model details into admin panel. So that's what I'm going to register into admin panel. A simple registration I'm going to follow. I'm not going to follow here decorator kind of register. Yes, we have seen decorator kind of registration, model registration in admin panel in our Django sessions. But now I'm going to use simple registration just for showing. Now you can see here, what I want to do, I have to import. What you have to import? So we have to import from your application. What is your application actually here? DRF app is our application. Dot models. Which model is there? That is student model. This student model I have to register in admin panel. How to register? Admin dot site dot register. Simple, that is register. What is your model name? Student model. That's it. Admin dot site dot register student model. So admin.site.register student model. If you use like this, then you can able to see your model name into model details into admin panel. So after this model creation, immediately what we need to do, model creation and restart with admin panel, immediately we have to go to terminal window, and there we have to go to make migrations and migrations. Yes. So make migrations and migrations are required for what? Yes, whenever we do migrations, then only in Django we can create migration files. Then only we can create migration files. Okay, migration files. Then after migration files through, we will get some SQL statements. So once we execute migrate command through that SQL statements in database, table will create with a name called student table. So let's try to do make migrations here. Go to terminal, Python space manage.py make migrations. I'm taking here. So if you use this make migrations, now you can see migrations for DRF application, create model, student only, it is there. Okay, where is migration file? If not, it is not required admin class. It is not required. Whenever you want to see this model data into admin panel, okay, then only you have to register your model into admin.py only if you want to see the data. Otherwise, I'll show you same records into DB browser tool also. Let's just wait here. Okay. So now you can see Python space manage.py migrate. I'm taking migrate. So whenever you do migrate, automatically SQL statements will execute for migration. So automatically the table will create in SQLite 3 database. So where it is available, migrations files, all these things. Now you can see under this migrations folder, you can see this is a migration file. When we double click on migrations file, this is SQL statements are ID, SID, SNAME, SADDRESS, SEMAIL. You know very well, when we don't have primary key fields while creating models.py, automatically Django will create one ID that is primary key fields only. This is migration file. It is available in migrations. And where is, you can see SQLite 3 database is highlighted here. And I want to see this data. What data? Admin student data, student record, student table name. Okay, student, your class name is going to become a table name. You know already that. This class fields will become table fields only. SID, SNAME, etc. This is model. And I want to see this data in admin panel so that I have to prepare super user. So who is the super user? The user which is having accessibility to see all the details of your database tables and all. So that is super user. Super user creation is required here. How to create super user? Again, go to terminal, Python space manage.py. So create super user. Create super user. And it will ask you to create super user name, leave blank to use Lenovo. I'm not giving Lenovo here, just I'm giving super user name is MOHAN and mail address mohan@gmail.com for this project. And password is MOHAN. Better to give strong password. I'm giving only normal password for easily remember. S means password validation to create user anyway. Yes, I'm creating super user successfully. Once you create super user successfully, what we need to do? You have to run server. So Python space manage.py run server. That's all. Once you run server, you will get http://127.0.0.1 port number is 8000. You can change port number also. Let's click on this directly link and open browser or paste copy paste. So our server is running fine. But my intention is not like this. I want to log in into admin panel. Now you can see admin/admin I'm using. Why /admin I'm using here? Admin panel I have to open. So URL, you can see this urls.py is there in DRF project under urls.py. What is URL here? Standard URL admin/ is there. So that you can able to go to admin panel. So here admin panel, if you want to go to admin panel, then you need super user account. Just I have created super user account. Press enter, and super user name is what actually MOHN Mohan. Password is what actually MOHN Mohan. Correctly, you can give this valid username, password, and click on login. So once you click on login, now you can see it's create a students table name. Yes, I have created model here with a name called student, but we can get a name called students name. Yes, will be added here. So click on students. Now you can see these records are available here. but we don't have records right now. But let me add the records. How to add the records? Left hand side or right hand side, you can see there is a adding records purpose. Add student is there. Click on add student. Now you can say SID. If you want to give the SID, like SID, I'm giving 101. I'm giving SID, and S name is just the student name is Sai, and S address is Hyderabad. I'm giving S mail is sai@gmail.com here. Few student records I'm going to add. Save, add, and another. And next to 102 record, and student name is Raj, and S address is any address you can give that, SR Nagar, and S mail raj@gmail.com here I'm giving. Okay, click on save and another. I'm just showing few records. 103 student name is Rajesh, S address is HYD, and S mail is just rajesh@gmail.com. I'm taking gmail.com. Save, add, and another. Okay. Next, what I'm taking 104. Any number of records you can record. Just I'm inserting few records only. That's enough. S address, Amirpet, and S mail manoj@gmail.com. That's all. 4 records are enough. Any number of records you can insert. No issues. Finally, we have to save this data. Whenever we save the data, now closely you can observe here what's going to happen here. Student object 4, student object 3, student object 2, student object 1 is there. These are every record is object only in this model. When I click on student object 1, then student details are coming. If you want, you can delete, you can modify these records also. But this is not good practice because uh, I need to display clearly which person record it is. So to do that, what we need to do, go back your models. Okay, even if you want to display in table wise, you have to go to model admin class. In Django, you know already that. I will include later. Okay, so for time being, I'm not including everything. Just I want to show you a simple API creation in this case with this database things. And now you can see we are unable to show a proper employee, proper student record with their name. So I want to create with their name instead of student object 1, 2, 3, 4. So for that, what I'm taking in this model here, in this model, df underscore underscore str underscore str. This function, you know already in Django we were discussed clearly. So I want to return every record with their student name. So that's what self dot s name I'm taking here. Once I create this self dot s name, let's go to here and refresh it once. Now observe here, you can see Manoj record, Rajesh record, Raj and Sai record. This is the better way to representation. So when we click on Manoj record, so that you'll come to know this is Manoj record. And this is only for what actually, if you want to manage your database in admin panel, then this is required, admin.py, and register your model into administrator panel. Otherwise, one software is required. What softwares are? DB browser, SQLite. Okay, you can go to Google and type DB browser software for SQLite. You will get clearly this kind of icon. Then there you can install and download and install. And let me open this DB browser tool, which is already with me. So just for showing, without admin panel, no need to go for admin panel. You can manage your data here itself. So let's go to open database. And after that, where is your database? Desktop only it is available. Let me go to desktop here, desktop. And what is DRF project and DB database here? Click on open. Now you can see what is your table name, DRF app underscore student. Right click on it and browse table. So you got these details here, or whatever I have inserted through admin panel here also it is there. So you can manage from here, or else you can manage from there. Anyways you can do it. So quickly you can, if you want to manage the database data here, DB browser tool is required here, or else you can go through admin panel only if you want. This is your wish. So my intention is not this. Up to here, everybody knows that in Django what we did. So I create a model and I have registered that model into admin panel. I have created a super user. I just log in into super user account and I have inserted these records. These records I want to display into JSON format to the end user, that is with API creation. Yes. So now what I want to do here now, so to convert this model data into JSON format, then we use serializers. Okay, I'll talk about much more detailed serializers and serialization, deserialization. What is the concept? I will discuss in coming sessions. But to convert this model data into JSON format, then we use serializers concept. So serializer is the process of converting your models data or any objects instances, like these are the instances, every record is instances objects, into user understandable format, that is JSON or XML, that is called serializers. So now I'm going to add a new file to my application. DRF app is my application name, and under this application just I'm adding new Python file with a name called serializers with a name. So serializers.py I'm taking with, you can take any name, not only serializers, just I'm taking for meaningful name. In this serializers.py, what code we have to write here? Okay, what code you have to write? Simple. So from your application name is what? drf app dot models. What is your model? Student model. Okay, yes. Now I'm going to create a class, one class, serializer class. So stu student serializers student serializer of, here I can say serializers dot model serializers dot model serializer. Okay, let me take class name is there here, serializer, stu serializer. Any name you can take, sir. Here, this is class name. And after that, here, what I'm taking, serializers dot model serializer, SCRIA dot model serializer. Just give me 1 second. Oh, I'm not getting that things. Let me go for, yes, we have to import serializers actually. That's what we are not getting this change. Compulsory how to import serializers also. How to import serializers, from where you have to import serializers? From REST framework. REST framework is a library. Import serializers. Yes, this serializers I'm going to use here. Let's copy this and place here. Providing, just wait a minute. Here I'm just copy and paste it. Dot model serializer you have to use. So this is built-in things, are actually. These are the built-in things. You need not to worry about these things. I have imported from REST framework, and model also required here. I want to convert this model only to serialize the data from model instance to JSON format. So that's what I'm using, class student serializer. This is our own name. Here, what I'm trying to do, I'm going to create one meta class. In this I'm going to represent for this meta class model is what model? Student model only. And what fields you want to represent, that you can decide. You can see fields equals to underscore all. This, you know, that all fields I need to represent. Okay, yes. So this is the case where I have given this code, class code student serializers.py. This is the extra file which I have added for my API. So after that, let's go to your views. Views.py is there, no? Yes, view is a mainly function actually. This is function based view or class based view. Any view we can able to use it. So mainly what I'm trying to do here, I have to import some libraries here. Apart from render. Render is I'm not going to use here, but I'm going to use only these things from REST framework. Okay, from REST framework. Dot views import app API view is there. This is the API view class is there. So this class through I'm going to create my class based view, because I'm going to create API. So REST framework dot views import app view, and again from REST framework dot views dot response, not views. Yes, I have to give response in JSON format. So response import response class I'm using here, response class. Then after that, according to my requirement, so from our application trf app dot models import, what model is importing, this is. Next also from drf app is our application dot what actually serializers import, what serializer class is there, stu stu serializer is there. What is this stu serializer? This serializer name is available. You can see serializers.py, stu serializer here. Understand? This is the case. So I'm using in views from drf app dot serializers import student serializer here. all I'm using what I created only. So this is only new things from REST framework. I'm taking import API view, import response. And from our application, DJANGO application, from models onwards, student model I'm taking. Here models onwards, I'm creating what? Student model I'm taking. And next, from our application, serializers class is there, no, serializers.py. From that, I'm importing what? Student serializer. So student serializer I'm taking here. So I'm going to create a view class here. To create view class, what I'm taking here, class name is stu, details I'm taking. This is my class based view, which is inherited from API view. It is the class. Okay. After that, here I'm taking get function. You know, your class based view is having get function, and next get function through what actually we are going to retrieve the data. So I'm going to retrieve the data only. I'm not going to post anything here. Get function, request, and here it is what? Query set object, emp not actually student. This is query set object. So what is your model name? Students model name, student model name. Objects means what? All objects. All means it is a function. stu is what? Actually query set object. Here serializer I'm taking. Serializer, it's a variable name. And what serializer class we have? stu serializer class is there. And for this stu serializer class, I'm going to pass query set object. It is instance only. And many equals to true I'm taking, because many objects, not only one object, there are many records are there, all need to be converted into JSON format. Now you can see here, student serializer class will take an object. This is an object, student object only, which is coming from database every records. Database name is student. Objects means all records. It is query set object. So serializer is the concept of it is converting a query set object or models or instances into JSON format. So this student serializer class will be take an parameter as student object here, and many equal to true means many records are there, not only one single instance, and it will store into serializer variable here. This serializer variable I have to send in a response. Okay, yes. So I have to go to return response serializer dot what data is a built-in variable. So serializer dot data, this data only I have to create in response in the JSON format only. Okay, and get method is only enough. There is no post method. Actually, generally class based we will have that both post method, get methods are there here. Even if you want to include post method, you can include, or else if you don't want to include anything, you can do it pass only here, or else you can ignore the including of post method. Generally every class based we will have internals get and post only. Get means to retrieve and post means to insert, but I'm not going to do inserting. Just I want to read the data from database, and which is represent in JSON format only. This is my simple API which I created here. Okay, how I created API view? This is by taking models, by taking serializers class. Okay, this is serializer class, and data should come from database and display in the what format? JSON format. But here, who is going to take care that URLs? URLs I have to mention, no? Yes. URLs, where it is there? URLs.py. In URLs.py, I have to import this from your application name is what? DRF app. Okay, import. What we have to import? Views only. Now let's give the URL address here. So I'm taking path name is student. URL I'm taking stu I'm taking student slash, then views dot. What is your view name here? Look at here, views.py. What is your view name? Stu details is my view name. Okay, this is what type of view? Class based view here. So class based view in the sense, now we can see stu details dot as view function is required, that you know clearly. So whenever I'm going to start server, whenever I'm going to hit this request with URL, then automatically the data is going to come from JSON format. Let's try to hit the request. Now stu I'm taking stu slash. Then you can see the data is coming stu details. Okay, this is completely JSON format here. So we have successfully got the data by using what we can say API with JSON format. Now you can say DJANGO REST framework. Then admin user is Mohan. Okay, admin user. So super user name is available, And you can see there are so many methods are there. Get, post, head options are there. Here your data is available. ID is which is created by Django by default primary key ID. This is your student ID, student name, student register, student mail ID here. In the left right hand side, you can see this. There are some options here. Get options, and here JSON option is this is JSON API option. This is API option here. And whenever we wanted to see the same data, this is JSON data format only into your browser. Click on this. Now you can see your browser is also showing clearly JSON format, this data. I'm going to maximize. Square bracket, curly brackets, ID1, SID101, SName, SAddress, SMail, all these things is showing or not? Yes. I have shown in my documentation clearly. So data representation with JSON format with including enclosed within the parentheses like flower brackets and square brackets. This is the case. Let's go back here. This is simple API through we are representing our data into JSON format clearly. This is JSON format. Format equal to API format here. How it is possible? Using what actually? Django REST framework only. So Django REST frame. I'm going to log out this admin panel. Let me close this. So because of all these things is going to happen what? Under this test settings.py, here you can see REST framework I'm using. And now you can see here REST framework serializer class I'm using. And here in views function also I used that serializer REST framework response, REST framework API view class, and student serializer class already have maintained serializers.py. So here the main role is serializers concept here. I'll talk about the serializers concepts in detail in coming session. Just my intention is to show how to handle a first API with simple way with the Django project here in PyCharm editor clearly. So what I did, simple steps, I'll show you. I create a project in command prompt. I create application through command prompt. I have project already available in the project folder. I have opened this into PyCharm editor. After that, immediately what I just models.py, I have created a student model with model fields. And the next I have make migrations. Sorry, I have registered this model into admin.py to see this all details into admin panel. And I worked with migrations and migrations. Yes, compulsory. Then only your table will be created with a name called student. And I created super user. I just log in with super user account, user ID and password. I have inserted few records and just come back to this my project here. And I created serializers.py file. It's a Python file. And I have created class, serializer class, which is inherited from serializers.model serializer. And I have referred this model to this serializer class to represent all fields equals to all. Then after that, view function I created, view class. This is class based view. I have created a get function. Through get function, I represent all the records. Okay. And I just create a student object. This is a query set object only. This object I pass it to your serializer class. Many equals to true means all records and return in a response. What response it is? API response here. This is response to serializer.data only. So this is exactly what I did step-by-step process. It is very simple. I have given clearly all these steps in my documentation. You can go through it once. So in tomorrow's session, we'll continue for more details. You will come to know that what is exactly serialization. And even at the same time, we can able to do deserialization also. We will go through that mechanisms. Okay. Yes. So you have understand clearly just to these things already. We know that. We know that already. Those who attend my Django sessions, how to create projects, all these things, you know that. Okay. Yes. Recorded videos I'm sending to all my students already. First session recording videos I have already sent. And those who are new to these sessions means you have not my students, previous batch students. Please ask to DURGASOFT people to give your mail IDs to me. You can see this. I have 2 sessions material, 3 sessions material. This is third session material. Videos also I have uploaded already. Yeah. Please ask to your Mr. Santosh. Please ask to DURGASOFT administrative people to give your mail ID to me only. Okay, because if you are not my student, then I okay, no problem. I understand that, but officially should come from DURGASOFT people only, so that will be good for me. Immediately ask them. Even I will call you. I will call them after finishing this class. I will take your mail IDs from them only. Okay. No worries at all. You will get all notes and materials so far, whatever we discuss. If you have really registered, then I'll take your mail IDs from DurgaSoft so that I'll send these 3 videos and 3 sessions documentation also. No worries at all. That thing you can leave it to me up to here. Mr. Pramod, you also. I'll take your mail ID just and after getting confirmation, then I'll start sending this. Okay. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. No problem. Please make sure recorded video available before next class will can refer and please. No, sure, that is. You will get recording video within 1 hour only after finishing the class. No need to wait much more time. Just wait. Yeah.
Hi, sir. This is Pramod. Good evening.
Tell me, Pramod. Good evening.
Yeah, sir.
Tell me,
Actually,
Pramod.
this is my first class. I am, Durga sir student, DJANGO class. Sir. Still, that class is going on. So I started REST API now. So
No problem.
I hope 2 class got over, right?
2 classes completed. That was available. They have uploaded YouTube channel also. Just the recent classes for mine. Then you can go and check it. Even I will send to you that recording videos to you also. No issues.
Okay, sir. Please send it. I have to go through
Yeah.
that. Sir, one more question. So, how many days it will take to complete this REST API?
Maximum 25, minimum 20.
Okay. Okay.
मैंने मेल आईडी तो दे दिली से लिखी रखी कॉपी करके रखी એટલે કોડે નું 25
Yes.
સાથે હાસ્ય ધરો
5. So see you tomorrow at same time on same link. We'll continue from here. Okay. Yes. No problem, Mr. Rajesh. So I'll take it your mail ID from DurgaSoft so that I'll send the videos and material. Okay. No worries at all. Even I'm just copying mail IDs those who are giving to me. Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah, sure. So we'll continue in tomorrow's session. Have a nice time.